My name is Larry Steele. My current position is station manager for WPUL in Daytona Beach, Florida. I've been in the business since 1976, January 1976 to this current position, 2012, which is a total of 36 years. I don't think AM radio is dead at all. Because I started there. And I know what can make a great AM stay, where there are markets in America where AM still rules. If AM were dead, talk radio stations wouldn't be #1 in Boston and Chicago and Los Angeles and New York and Atlanta. SB is still in the top 5. So they're not dead. So that part is not dead. I think it's the point of you have to have the resources sometimes. Sometimes with these major conglomerates that have come in and taken over radio stations, the AM gets kicked to the back of the curve unless it already had ratings. If it had ratings, it started out with ratings, then therefore the investment that they have into AM radio is there. Whereas the FM is always the toy. The FM is always going to, because that's what people, that is what current that people want to listen to. FM is a current thing. The first thing people say to you, y'all ain't FM? Well, if you listen to what radio is today, AM signals, and by listening on the telephone, because now the telephone is the way to listen to the radio. People don't need to have an AM signal now as a valuable source, because you go to your Android or your iPhone and you can listen to the radio clear as a button. There's no signal loss. There's no everything. So I don't think AM and FM, I think the difference in AM and FM radio is very popular among young people and those stations that are established. I'll take 94.5 in Orlando, Star 94.5. It's very established. It's very good. It's very consistent. It's very it's just solid with all types of promotions. So it was always taught to me, if you got the 3 T's, time, tools, and talent, it'll always be okay. Those stations will survive because they are big. They've invested their money where it needs to be. The Cox and the people who own them have invested great money into them for promotions. They've invested money to make these type of stations work. And all FM stations do not survive because they're FM. They're AM stations that are still kicking FM's butt, and they can't do it because they realize the AM is what makes money. And I go back to SB in Atlanta. SB AM is still killing the FM. You know, in certain markets the AM is the ruler, especially if it has power. You know, like all AMs, you know, back in, I think when they started dishing out the big watts and 50,000 watts back in 45, I think there was, when they were just giving them away. African American radio stations didn't get a lot of that 50,000 watt stations. You know, the white stations with the 10,000 watts. You got to remember, people have to understand the amplitude modulation on an AM station is a lot bigger than an FM station, 6,000 watts, because you can go a lot farther, especially if you get, especially at night when you've got the wind taking that signal a long way. Man, it's a great thing. So I think AM radio and FM radio is still a valuable place for it. I don't think neither one of them will die anytime soon, but there are other entities around it.